tune on in, tap in with your boy before I start building on subject matter for the day. We talking about health and fitness today, man. I'm gonna teach y'all how to burn that body fat, man. How to hit that fat burning zone, man. A lot of people have trouble when it comes to losing weight, specifically burning fat, man. So I'm gonna kind of instruct y'all on how to do that, man. How to hit that fat burning zone, how to do it properly. So I'm gonna give everybody a chance to tap on in, tune in with your boy, man, before I start diving into the subject matter for the day. Hopefully y'all having a powerful Sunday. Beautiful Goddess Keys, Peace Queen, what's going on with you? So yeah, we're gonna show people how to eliminate all that body fat, man. It's a simple process, yet a lot of us don't follow it. It's a lot of things that you can do and implement to help you expedite or speed up the process in regards to burning that body fat. But a lot of people don't understand what it means to be in that fat burning zone. So it's a lot of things that we do that we're not even aware of, man, that hinder our progress or progress in regards to burning that body fat. Shaquille, Justin, peace. What's going on with y'all, man? How y'all living? How y'all holding up? What's the word, man? How this Sunday treating everybody? Michelle, Peace Queen, what's going on? Yeah, I got a little time to build, man, so I'm going to go ahead and build, give y'all some basic instructions here, man, in regards to burning that body fat. Real simple instructions. Real simple instructions. Especially, y'all know I'm real big on fasting. Y'all know that's one of the ways that I like to tell people to drop pounds. But I'm going to give y'all some methods to implement without having to fast. Now, of course, I'm going to include fasting in it because, of course, if you fast, that's going to help expedite the process as well in and of itself. But I got some, little tips that if you consuming food and you don't want to fast, I'm gonna throw some tips your way to help you burn that body fat. TZ, peace. What's going on? Justin, there we go. Complaining ain't gonna do any good. Beautiful Goddess Keys, no doubt. I got you. Give y'all some little tools too, man, in regards to like some little websites to try out, little calculators that'll help you along the journey as well. All right, Shaquille, we got you, man. Stay tuned, man, because that's what I'm talking about today, man. And a lot of times too, people don't understand. It's a difference between, like, that's why I tell people, make sure you get a scale that just gives you more than your actual weight. Because, again, the number going down or up on the scale is not the whole story, man. So you want to make sure you get a scale that tells you your muscle mass, your body fat, your water weight, all of that good stuff, man. Because a lot of times we just overly focus on the weight. And that don't tell the whole story, man. You could have gained, like the number on the scale could go up and that could be water weight. Don't necessarily mean your body fat went up, so we just got to pay more attention to the other numbers and the other factors opposed to just the number on the scale. So a lot of times what it is people don't necessarily want to lose weight. They want to burn the fat. They want to get rid of the body fat. So it may not be a situation where you just want to lose weight. You just want to get rid of your body fat. And you can stay at the exact same size. So you could be You could be 170 pounds and have 30% body fat, and you could still stay at 170 pounds, but your body fat is down to 15 to 20. You the same exact weight, but you look better. You're carrying it better because you have less fat. You have less body fat. So a lot of times people don't be understanding that. They say, man, I just want to lose weight, depending on, the size and whatnot. Obviously, some people can afford to just drop weight in general when you get obese and things of that nature. But it'd be some people at a decent size and they like, well, I want to lose more weight. When in reality, they just want to get rid of that body fat. That's what it is. Yeah, beautiful Goddess Keys. Yeah, you might have a lot of water weight. Water weight might be up there. And like I said, that's one of the things that we gotta factor in. Gotta factor that in. Water weight, gotta know where your muscle mass is at, gotta know what that body fat is doing. And that's what I tell people all the time. I don't really even focus on the weight per se. I focus on the body fat. I wanna see the body fat go down. I wanna see your muscle go up. I wanna see that water weight go up a little bit, man. The water weight, just from my experience, people tend to be low when it comes to that water. It's actually hard to get that water weight up. It's actually hard to do that because as much as we drink water, we get rid of a lot of it too. We get rid of a lot of water as well. Jay, God, peace, what's going on? So this one thing too. We're gonna talk about the fat burning zone. A lot of people don't understand what it means to actually burn fat. And I'm gonna give you one jewel just out the gate in regards to exercising and eating. I'm gonna tell you right now out the gate, if you are consuming any form of food, especially if it's a carb-rich, carb-heavy type of food, if you are consuming that food within an hour of you working out and you don't work out longer than an hour at an intense level, you are not entering the fat burning zone at all. The best thing for you to do if you are striving to hit that fat burning zone is to work out in a fasted state. The best thing you can do is right when you get up in the morning is try to do you some cardio in that fasted state. That is one of the best ways to tap into that fat burning zone. If you are consuming any type of carb heavy food before a workout, that is your fuel for the workout, meaning you are not burning fat during the workout, you are burning carbs. So if your whole goal is to burn fat and you are consuming carbs right before the workout, it's counterproductive. You would literally have to work out for about an hour just to burn through what you just consumed. So you just burn through all the sugar that you just consumed. So you would have to work out for about another 30 minutes just to start burning the fat. So people don't understand that. So the best thing you can do if burning fat is the goal is to work out in a fasted state. Or if you are going to consume some food, give yourself about 2 to 3 hours. But if you consuming some carb heavy foods an hour before you work out, that's definitely going to be your fuel. You're definitely going to be utilizing those carbs as fuel. Hence, you will not be in the fat burning zone. Hence why that number on the scale may not be doing what you want it to do, even though you are working out religiously and you going hard. And then another thing too, drink water while you're working out. Do not have a sugary beverage while you are working out. Again, defeating the purpose because your body is going to utilize the sugar in that beverage as fuel. You want the body to turn to fat. You want the body to burn the fat and utilize the fat as fuel during the workout, not the carbs. If your goal is to burn fat, you do not want to drink sugary drinks during your workout. You just want to sip on water. Simple. But a lot of people do not do that. A lot of people feel as though they have to eat something before they work out. I'm telling you, you don't have to. But if you feel that way, your best bet is to consume some light fruit, man, like some watermelons or something like that, some berries or something along those lines. Nothing too crazy, though. And again, this is if your goal is to burn fat, which for the most part, we should all have this goal to burn fat. But the best thing you can do is in the morning or whenever you start your day or night or whatever the case, however your schedule is set up, the moment you wake up, get some cardio in because you're already in the fastest state. So that's why it's easier to do that. So the moment you get up, get some cardio in, some intense cardio, get it in, get the cardio in. But if you are if you consume some carbs before you work out, then you're gonna have to work out longer than an hour. So your workout gonna have to be about an hour, 30 minutes. Because they say, like if you consume the carbs, they say you got about an hour of kind of moderate to intense exercising before you reach that fat burning zone. So if you're trying to burn the fat, then it's best to work out for about an extra 15 to 30 minutes, like after the fact. So if you lift weights for about an hour, then for that 15, 30 minutes after that hour, do you some cardio. Then more than likely, you tapping into burning that fat. So to be on the safe side, work out for about an hour, 30 minutes. So boom, hit the weights for an hour. Then for the last 15, 30 minutes, do you some cardio. That's if you consuming foods throughout the day and things of that nature, some carb heavy foods. So give yourself an hour to burn through that. And then for like the last 15, 30 minutes, kind of go hard on some cardio. Then you are almost guaranteed to be burning some fat at that particular point. All right, beautiful goddess Keys, you say if you are fasting for a long period, is that burning fat or muscle? At that point, when depending on how long the fast is, if it's longer than about 3 days, then you probably tapping into muscle at that particular point. You probably tapping into muscle at that particular point. Nah, Tavis, I wouldn't even recommend that. Just drink that water. Drink your water. Drink your water. Drink water throughout the workout. Nothing else. That's all you need. Water. Drink the water throughout the workout. And I'm telling you, you're going to reach that fat burning zone with the quickness. So give yourself about 2 hours. If you consume something, give yourself about 2 hours before you work out. Or if you feel like you really need to eat, an hour or 30 minutes before the workout, light on the fruits like some berries or watermelons and things of that nature. Consume something like that. Then once you consume any type of carb-rich food, make sure the workout exceeds an hour. So hit the weights, and then for that last 15, 30 minutes, boom, hit you some cardio. Now, if you are pressed for time, if you don't feel like you can dedicate an hour, 30 minutes to your workout, then boom, this is when you have to start practicing HIIT, the high intensity interval training. Meaning you are going to have to work out at a very intense level for about a good 30 to 45 minutes. So that method is also good to help you tap into that fat burning zone if you don't have about an hour, 30 minutes to dedicate to a workout. Then you're going to have to do some really intense interval training for about 30 to 45 minutes. And when I say intense interval training, I mean that. A lot of people say they practice HIIT. A lot of people say they workouts are intense, but they really not. Like you cannot be taking minimal breaks. When you're doing high intensity interval training, I'm talking minimal breaks. So if you're doing, burpees, high knees, jumping jacks, push-ups, you performing them for a set amount of time, 30, 45 seconds, no rest in between. So you going from exercise to exercise to exercise. Then after the circuit is done, you probably give yourself a minute, then you tackle it again. You repeat that 5 or 6 times. That's what high intensity interval training is all about. That's what circuit training is all about. So if you press for time, then you definitely need to start practicing some HIIT training, some high intensity interval training, and get you some circuits set up. So if you press for time and don't have that hour and 30 minutes, at least 4 to 5 days out of the week, then you're going to have to give yourself 30 to 45 minutes of high intensity interval training if you striving to tap into the fat burning zone. DJ Elmo, peace. What's going on? Yeah, Justin, get that water in. Get that water in. And another thing, too, when it comes to burning fat, I'm going to also, I think it's called a Benedict Harris calculator. That's some homework for y'all. Google that, the Benedict Harris calculator. That helps determine your BMR, your basal metabolic rate. Basically, what that number is, that's basically the amount of calories that your body needs in order for it to function if it was to rest for 24 hours. So that's just the amount of that's the minimum amount of calories that your body needs in order to function when it's at rest. So that's not including anything else. That's just saying if you rested for 24 hours, that BMR number is the amount of calories that you would need to exist. So if you go to the Benedict Harris calculator, you're going to put in your numbers, you're going to put in your height, you're going to put in your weight, you're going to put in your age. And I think that's it. And then it's going to give you that number. That BMR number is very important. That BMR number is very important. When you are consuming foods, when you are eating, you definitely want to make sure you are not consuming less in terms of calories than that number. Now, of course, this is not if you on a full fast. When you are consuming foods, you want to make sure you are consuming up to that amount of calories at least. At least. Now, burning fat without fasting and things of that nature. So they tell you, I think fat accounts for 3,500 calories. So what that means is in order for you to burn fat, in order for you to drop weight, in order for you to drop that pound of fat, you got to be at a deficit of about 500 in regards to that 3,500. So that means you would have to consume about 3,000 calories per day. Oh, no, not consume. I ain't mean to say that. You have to burn around 3,000 calories per day. Oh, Dominique, what's going on? What's going on with you? Thunder, peace. What's going on with you? How y'all living? But let me get back to talking about the fat and the calories. Because bear with me, man. It's a little early over here, man. I'm still tripping, man. I gotta get my mind right. Gotta get my mind right. But like I said, the fat accounts for about 3,500 calories or so. So if we talking about consuming the foods, then obviously we got to consume less than that if we are striving to lose, which I said it right the first time. Said it right the first time. We got to consume less than that, meaning we got to be at a deficit if we are striving to lose. So if you're striving to lose the fat, and the fat accounts for about 3,500 calories, then obviously you don't want to consume more than that in regards to food. So they say decrease your calorie consumption by 500 a day. So that means about 3,000 calories per day if the fat accounts for 3,500. So you want to be at about 3,000 per day, according to that science. So you want to drop it down to about 3,000 per day in regards to the consumption of food if you are striving to burn the fat, if you're striving to drop that pound. If you're striving to drop that pound in a healthy manner. So you want to at least strive to get down to 3,000 calories per day because the fat amounts to 3,500 calories. So you want to be at that deficit. And obviously you want to strive to burn more calories than the 3,000. So you want to make sure you're burning more calories and you want to make sure you decreasing the calories that you are consuming. So y'all know the science. Joey the Serpent, man, your body, what people don't understand about burning calories, your body is literally not, I don't want to say always burning calories, man, but we burn calories by just, the body burns calories just by keeping up its daily functions like breathing and things of that nature, your heart beating. Like that in and of itself burns calories. But if you're striving to burn a lot of calories via your workout, the HIIT training, like the high intensity interval training is definitely what I recommend. Strength training, definitely you should be doing that. So if you're doing some strength training, HIIT training, and then you do the cardio in the fasted state, and you're doing these things about 5 days out of the week, you are guaranteed to drop the weight as long as you at that caloric deficit that I just mentioned. So if you're not consuming more than 3,500 calories per day and you consuming around 3,000, and then you doing the strength training, the HIIT training, and then you doing the cardio in the fasted state, guarantee you're going to see that body fat go down. Guarantee you 100%. Guaranteed. Now, of course, if you implement some fasting in the mix, then of course you're going to drop some pounds as well. Of course you're going to drop some pounds as well. Just depending on how long you fasting. So sometimes you can fast for prolonged periods, but then it taps into the muscle, which is not really what you want to do. You want to build that muscle. So if you're striving to burn this fat, if you're striving to tap into this fat without fasting, then again, you got to be at that caloric deficit and you got to make sure you're burning more than you are consuming. And that's really easy to do because one of the benefits of strength training is that you are burning calories outside of lifting the weights. So you burning calories when you're not lifting, when you strength training. See, that's the difference between strength training and then like steady state cardio, meaning running for long distances or getting on a treadmill and just jogging at that pace for 20, 30 minutes. Soon as you get off of the treadmill, you done burning calories. Well, when you strength train, when you leave the gym or wherever you live, when you finish, you're not done burning. So that's the benefit of strength training. You're burning the calories while you sleep. You're burning the calories while you're done lifting. But the moment you step off the treadmill and the moment you stop your walk, you're done burning calories in regards to that particular activity. You're done. No more calories are being burned because of that treadmill, because of your walk. Strength training, you burning calories all throughout the night, all throughout the day because of that strength training. So that's why strength training is one of the best things that you can do when it comes to burning the fat. I recommend everybody strength train. No matter if you're male, no matter if you are a woman, you strength train. That will benefit you. That will not harm you. Strength training is of the utmost importance. So I recommend strength training. Get in the gym, find you some weights, lift heavy, get it in. Strength training is crucial. For weight loss, it's crucial for burning the fat. It's just crucial for your bone health. It's crucial for all of that. So strength training is one of the best things you can do. So I give you an example of how a day should look. Start off your day doing some strength training. Let's say it's like leg day, you want to focus on the lower body. Do you some heavy back squats. Do you some front squats. If you got access to a leg press machine, do that. Do some lunges. Do some thrusts. You know, for my women that want to build up the glutes, do you some thrusters and whatnot. Once you do that, then I would say that's when you probably do some little ab work at the end. Then after that, you want to finish off with a little HIIT routine. So that'd be a good workout, man. So start off with some strength training. That may take you about 45 minutes to an hour if you do it properly. And then you want to end that bad boy off with some HIIT training. Get you a jump rope. Boom, jump rope for a minute. Then go right into some burpees for 30 seconds and repeat that for like 6 or 7 rounds. Man, I'm telling you, that'll max you out. That'll max you out, and you are guaranteed to be in the fat burning zone at that particular point. So do something like that, man. Always, I call it a finisher. So you should finish off all your workouts with something intense. So if you're doing like a basic weightlifting routine, after that routine is over, man, do you some circuits. Do you some high intensity interval training to just kind of end the workout. I call it a finisher, man. I call it a bang. Go out with a bang. So you want to construct your workouts to the point where when it's done, when you do the basics, you want to end it with something crazy, with something intense. That's what I have a lot of my people do. Ray Sean, what you say when doing push-ups, 100, 200 reps, does it count when you do them in sets of 30, 40 with breaks or only straight through? Nah, you can, I mean, if you can do them straight through, then you banging them out. You banging them out, that's good work. But man, if you doing them in sets, if you breaking them up like that, that's cool. That's cool. Joey the Serpent, yes, it's best to work out while you fast. And TZ Frank, based off my experience, because I done dealt with a lot of people that be fasting, and normally when I have people go on fast, man, they tend to, that muscle tends to decrease. Tends to decrease even like after a day of fasting. So it's like, man, I be trying to preserve muscle, man, but just my experience with the clients that I have that do fasting, I noticed that their muscle tends to decrease a lot faster. A lot faster. And this is just me experimenting. So I noticed, man, when I have them on that fast, man, they muscle don't do what I needed, what I wanted to do a lot of times, man. And that's for the people that have the goal of building that muscle. So it's like when I be putting them on a like certain fast, and that muscle drops, boom. It drops. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's one of those things you got to experiment with the body. You got to experiment with your body. Chanel, peace, what's going on? Shakir, what you say? How about walking for long distance? At some point, like when you walk for so long, at some point you want to start jogging, you want to start running. I'm not really a big fan of walking. It's cool to start, but at some point you got to take it to that next level. But I'm really not a big fan of just walking, whether it be on a treadmill, whether it be outside, because for the most part, when I see people outside walking, they a little too comfortable out here, man. They not going hard enough. They be on their phones. It just be a lazy walk. So I'm really not a big fan of walking. If you can jog, jog. And then work your way up to a run. But walking, not a fan of it. And for the most part, people walk. Of course, you're going to start losing some weight. especially if you wasn't active at all, you're gonna start losing some weight, but then you're gonna hit a wall. So I know plenty of walkers that they get to that point, it's like, man, I dropped 10 pounds, but I hit this wall. I ain't dropped no more weight, and I started to add some weight back on. It's because you continue to walk. So that's another thing that people got to understand too. A variable has to change every week. You can't keep doing the same thing. You can't keep walking at the same pace. You can't keep walking and running the same distance. Something has to change each week. Man, if you was bench pressing 100 pounds last week for 8 reps, then it's the second week. Why are you bench pressing the same weight for the same amount of reps? Change something. Bench press that 100 pounds for 10 reps, or go up 5 pounds and do the same amount of reps. Say, okay, I'm about to do 105 for 8. Stop doing the same thing, man. If you walked a mile last week, then you should be walking 1.5 miles the next week, or you should at least strive to jog a mile the next week. So something has to change, man. The variable has to change each and every week. And a lot of times people don't adhere to that. Something has to change. And a lot of times people get real comfortable with a routine. So you walk in the same distance at the same pace each and every week. You're not going to continue to see any type of gains. It's just not going to happen. You have got to literally change something. Yeah, beautiful guy. This keys. Yeah, like fasting is fasting is complicated because what I've noticed is it works different for each individual. It works different for each individual. See, I got a weird body type. I got the body type when I was in school. Like I got the body type to where when I was eating 5 or 6 small meals a day, I shredded up. I shredded up. When I was eating the 5 or 6 small meals a day, I got completely shredded. Like it was crazy. I had the least amount of body fat when I was eating the most. But of course, I was eating decent foods. So I feel like it's a mixture of a nice balance. So at some point, increasing that metabolism by consuming those 5 or 6 small meals a day serves a purpose. But then also with science out here that lets you know that when you slow it down, when you slow the metabolism down, that actually helps with the aging process. Makes you age a little bit slower. So I feel like it's a fine balance between the two. So I feel like you just need to incorporate all elements of it. So at some points, like, all right, man, I'm a fast, give me some fasting in. But then, all right, like this month, I'm going to focus on getting my 5 or 6 small meals in, getting that metabolism up. And that's really going to help you tap into the fat burning zone as well. When I was consuming those 5 or 6 small meals, 5 or 6 healthy meals, and I was lifting about 4 to 5 times out of the week with a lot of cardio in between, like I was shredded. I was completely shredded. Completely shredded. So I can definitely vouch for that method working, but you just got to make sure you are consuming healthy foods while you're doing that. So the 5 or 6 small meals can't be destructive meals, destructive foods. They got to be whole foods. So if you do that, method, I guarantee you will get shredded if you are making sure that you are following a nice weightlifting and exercise regimen or routine at least 4 to 5 days out of the week. That will shred you up, no doubt. And then you just kind of balance that out with little forms of fasting and things of that nature. So I feel like it's all about equality. It's all about balance, depending on what your goal is. Depending on what your goal is. Like I said, if your goal is to just get the number on the scale down, then fasting, I'm definitely gonna tell you to fast. If that is your goal, if your entire goal, you don't matter, it don't care about the body fat, don't care about muscle, don't care about none of that. I just need for this weight to go down. Then I am going to recommend fasting. But if you have more complicated goals, like I would have, like you trying to build this muscle, you trying to, you know what I'm saying, you trying to do things like that, then I may be leery about throwing in forms of fasting. I may tell you to eat the 5 or 6 small meals, clean meals. And I may tell you do something like that. So it just depends on what the goal is for the person. But even with all that being said, doing your cardio in a fasted state, meaning first thing in the morning, if you can do it, doing your cardio in that state will help regardless of what your goal is. That will help regardless. Like that will help regardless. Oh yeah, Chanel, most definitely. And that's what a lot of walkers do that. And a lot, like I said, a lot of people's too, they start being concerned about the physique. So if it's a certain physique that you after, like I said, like that's gonna change my whole approach in regards to the information that I present your way. So a lot of times people drop the weight, but then they don't like how they look after they drop the weight. You know, they may not have as much muscle as they would like. They may have what you call skinny fat. So a lot of people that you see, so I can describe the people. When you see people that went from like 300 pounds and then they lost like, they lost like 100 pounds, or they lost like 150 pounds, and you see them, but you like, dad, man, they don't look impressive. I can tell you exactly what they did. They changed the way that they were eating, and then they did a bunch of cardio. So that's why their physique is not to their liking. If you just change the way that you eat and you just do cardio, yes, you will drop the weight, but you may not be satisfied with the physique. But you're going to drop the weight. And you're going to probably drop the weight a lot faster doing that opposed to being 300 pounds and saying, I'm going to strength train, I'm going to lift some weights, and then I'm going to change the way that I eat and things of that nature. Because like I said, when you under this lifting regimen, you might see that number, you might see the number go up before it goes down because, again, you packing on muscle. So a lot of people don't be understanding that. So when people start lifting weights and they got this objective to lose weight, they ain't focused on anything else but the number going down on the scale. When that's the main objective, when they start lifting weights, they see that number go up and they start panicking. And I'm like, stop panicking. It's more than likely muscle. So a lot of times I have plenty of people. They want to lose weight. They start lifting. They see the number go up. They panic. I'm like, I guarantee you that your muscle just went up, but your body fat either stayed the same or went down. If it goes down, that's what we want to see. 9 times out of 10, that's what the case is. So it's a slow and steady process when you incorporate weightlifting in it. But like I said, when you just out here doing cardio and you change the way that you eat, you may be fasting a little bit, you're going to drop that weight, but it's not going to be physique-wise, you're probably not going to like how you look. Like I can guarantee you, physique-wise, you're not gonna be satisfied with how you look. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. You're gonna be satisfied with the number on the scale, but you're gonna be like, man, my hips ain't this, and my chest ain't that, my glutes ain't this. Then that's when building the muscle. That's when building the muscle comes into play. That's when weightlifting comes into play. That's when strength training comes into play. So that's a good way to go about it. If you have a nice amount of weight you're trying to lose, it's a nice way to go about it, to say, all right, man, I'm going to just get down to this number. Then once I get down to this number, that's when people come to me and say, what? I want to tone up. Like, I get a lot of that. So, like, man, I lost the weight, but I want to tone up. So, basically, you saying I lost the weight, but I ain't too satisfied with the physique. I want to add some muscle. So, I done seen a lot of people take that approach, man, depending on yourself. Like, if you 300 pounds, 400 pounds, whatever the case may be, then I recommend just starting off light, doing your little cardio and changing the way that you eat just to get that number down. Because again, I'm not about to just have you go completely hard. Like, that's a health hazard, man. You got too much going on, man. If you carrying so much weight, man, that's stressing your heart. So you want to just do light things, man, and you want to make sure you eating clean, eating light to get that number down first. Then when we get that number down, then we could go a little bit harder in regards to the workouts and things of that nature. So depending on the amount of weight that you're striving to lose, and depending on how big you are, that will determine the approach I tell you to take. Oh, Shaquille, no doubt. Montel, what's going on? Yeah, Chanel. And that's what happens too. That's what they tell you. They say, like, out the gate, when you change the way that you eat, like, you're gonna drop a nice amount of pounds. You're gonna drop a nice amount of pounds every time, man. When you change up the diet, you're gonna start dropping weight instantly. Especially when it's clean. So you're gonna drop the weight. So when people just focusing on getting rid of the weight, I always tell them, change the way that you eating, do some cardio. That number gonna go down. Then once that number go down, then now it's time for your boy to hit you with some strength training. Now I can make you lose the same amount of weight while incorporating the weights and doing the strength training, but it's not gonna be nowhere near as fast. Because like I said, that strength training is gonna add some muscle to you. And that's gonna make that number go up on that scale before it goes down, man. That's how that tends to work. So it's gonna be a slower process. Dominique, yeah, man, and you gotta experiment there. Piece, what's going on? You gotta experiment with your body. Like I said, when I was doing the 5 or 6 small meals, get my metabolism up, I was completely shredded. I'm talking about 8-pack, all that shredded, and just straight muscle, straight shredded, straight lean, and I was eating all throughout the day. All throughout the day, like I said, but I'm eating clean, I'm eating light. You know what I'm saying? I'm eating salads, I'm eating fruits. At that time, I was eating like eggs and stuff like that, man. But I was just eating 5 or 6 small meals throughout the day. I was working out hard for at least 4 days out the week. 5th day may be like real light cardio or something along those lines. But I was working out 4 or 5 times a week, sometimes twice a day. And I was eating clean, eating like every 2 to 3 hours. Metabolism was going crazy. I shredded up. Now, of course, I'm not going to recommend somebody eat 5 or 6 small meals a day and they ain't working out as hard as I am. That's another thing, too. Like, I was working out hard. So those five or 6 small meals a day, I needed that to replenish what I was breaking down because I was working out so hard. If you don't work out that hard, then I'm not going to suggest that. But I was working out hard. I'm going hard 5 days out of the week. So I needed that. I needed those 5 to 6 small meals a day, man. That's why it worked out so well for me, because I was going hard, working out hard, burning a lot. So if you don't work out as hard as I was working out, then I'm not going to suggest that route for you. But if you dedicating 4 to 5 days out of your week, man, to some intense training, some intense working out, then that 5 or 6 small meals a day could do you some justice. On your piece, what's going on? TZ, you say the calisthenics? Yeah, calisthenics definitely works wonders. Works wonders, man. Like I said, I always incorporate all elements, man. I'm real big into cross training. That's just my sports background, man. So I do calisthenics. I do, of course, HIIT training, strength training, like powerlifting type stuff is just my go-to, man. Just lifting heavy weight. That is just like really my go-to. And then the only thing I'm not a fan of, like I said, is steady state cardio. You are never going to catch me on a treadmill just running for just walking, jogging lightly for 30 minutes. That's never been my thing. Never gonna do that, ever. Like, I'm not too fond of that because I'm real big on muscle, man. So when you start, and just do the knowledge to people who do this. Y'all done seen cross country runners. Go watch the Olympics. The people that run long distances, what do they look like? Then look at the sprinters. How do the sprinters look? See, I'm more of a sprinter type. I aim for muscle. I don't like to run long distances, man, because that starts tapping into the muscle. I'm not a fan of that. So I don't like the cross country build. If that's the build that you aim for, cool, then you can do that. But I've never been a fan of that build, man. I embrace muscle. So I like to have muscle. So I don't like to get on a treadmill and just run for 30, 40 minutes. Because like I said, you end up with the physique of like a cross country runner. And I'm not a fan of that physique personally. So I look at more of a sprinter. When you look at sprinters, how are they built? So I do things like I sprint. So if I get on a treadmill, I'm about to do this thing in intervals. I'm going to go as hard as I can on that treadmill for 30 seconds, then jog for another 30 seconds, and I'm going to repeat that for like 6 or 7 rounds. That's what I'm going to do on a treadmill. Or I'm going to go outside, I'm going to run up some hills, or I'm going to do the same thing that I just mentioned outside. So I'm not a fan. I'm literally not a fan of that particular look. So I like to, you know what I'm saying? I like to do intense things for my cardio. Like you box or something like that, man. But I'm never going to be on a treadmill for a long period of time. Not a fan of that at all. Because again, that just starts happening to your muscle. When you go find anybody that all they do is just run long distances, that's not an appealing look to me. You know, that never was an appealing look to me. So that's why I don't do it. And I got a body type to where if I did that, that's exactly how I would start looking. Exactly how I would start looking. Brandon, what you say? You say you like the cut up look, but doesn't it zap a lot of energy out you to get to that point? Brandon, to get the cut up look, depending on what cut up look you're talking about, like I always go to Bruce Lee. for the cut up look. But that's how I was. That's pretty much how I was way back in the day. Like I'm still pretty much cut, but like back in the day, about a few years ago, I really hit my peak in regards to being cut up. And that's what I was saying when I was eating the 5 or 6 small meals a day. Man, I got real shredded, real lean. Real shredded, real lean, eating those 5 or 6 small meals, get my metabolism up, and making sure that I was working out hard for them 4 to 5 days out the week. Yeah, TZ. Now, it depends on, it depends on the cyclist, too, because some of them go real intense with the legs, man. So some of them cats like that be training for the Tour de France. They be kind of built. They be kind of built, man, because they didn't what they got the knowledge of. Hence why some of them be using steroids, Lance Armstrong and the boys. Hence why some of them started using the steroids, because they started to understand that strength training was important in regards to that endurance. So you start seeing a lot of cyclists using steroids, and you see them with the lower bodies looking crazy, because they start incorporating weightlifting into the regimen to make the legs stronger. So you will see a lot of them cats, man. They're all lower body, man, because they be lifting, and some of them be on the steroids, some of them be juiced up. Y'all know what happened with Lance Armstrong. Lance Armstrong wasn't necessarily a small dude, but they started incorporating them that weightlifting element to it, man. That's something that Bruce Lee talked about. Bruce Lee got it in his book, man. What is it? The Art of Expressing the Human Body. Bruce Lee talked about it. He was like, man, in order for me to take my martial arts to the next level, I understood that I had to incorporate elements of weight training. So Bruce Lee, people don't understand. People talk about CrossFit, cross training, circuit training. Bruce Lee was almost like the father of all of that. Bruce Lee was like, man, in order for me to take my martial arts to the next level, I felt that I needed to incorporate weight training to my regimen. And he did a lot of circuit training. So Bruce Lee is like the father of this circuit training, the father of this CrossFit, all that type of stuff, man, HIIT training. Bruce Lee almost is like the father of that. Bruce Lee don't get enough credit. Derek James, you say, all right, question. I'm building muscle 6 meals a day, heavy lifting. What's the best way to stay consistent with the meals on a busy schedule? Very good question. One of the best things you can do, it's a few things, but man, smoothies are big. Especially get you a big blender, man, big blender where you can make a humongous smoothie. And that's gonna eliminate a lot, man. Make you them gigantic smoothies, man, and just like freeze them overnight or something like that. So make you some gigantic joints, 2 of them or something. Man, you knocking out a lot of calories right there. You knocking out, man, that may account for about 3 to 4 meals right there if you get you a big enough blender. And then they have some of these, I ain't really too fond of them because they, processed foods, but they do have like these delivery services. Trifecta is a good one. They will ship you meals on a weekly basis. I know the last one I was looking at, it was like breakfast and lunch. So they'll send you, what is it? So that's about 7 days out the week. So let's say they send you 14 meals a week, and that includes 2 meals, a breakfast and a lunch. So those are good things too. If you always on the go, man, you just need some quick meals, man. Them little delivery services, man, they got vegan options and things of that nature. So look into Trifecta. It's a pretty affordable, and it's pretty nice. I had a client that recently started doing that. Because they press for time, so they order from that delivery service or whatever. They got the breakfast and the lunch option, I believe, and that's 2 meals out the gate right there that you don't have to worry about. So now you got to worry about is 4 more. I just told you the smoothies. So boom, now you're knocking it out, just that simple. And then get you some seeds, like the hemp seeds, the pumpkin seeds, and all those are my go-to. Hemp seeds, pumpkin seeds are the go-to. Then sunflower seeds, get you some like walnuts, cashews, almonds, things of that nature. And then you snack on those throughout the day. That'll also help. Oh, Nick, hey, what's going on with you, man? Andronicus, yeah, sprinting. I definitely recommend sprinting, man. I recommend sprinting or running all out way before I would recommend any type of treadmill action or just literally just walking or jogging at a real slow pace, man. If you can just go all out, you cannot beat going all out. Cannot beat it, man. So much science out here that's letting you know that just going them all out bursts in intervals is going to burn way more in a shorter time period than you sitting around walking on this treadmill for an hour. So if you go all out 30 seconds, light 30 seconds, man, you repeat that 10 times. Like, come on, man. You burning more than you probably would burn on that treadmill being on it for 45 minutes. So that's why I definitely recommend that joint. Yeah, Nanya, man, get you a blender, man. Those smoothies can work wonders for you. Get you a blender, man. Get you some fruits, man. Get you some peanut butter or some almond butter or some sunflower butter. Get you some of them joints. Make sure you get some hemp seeds. Throw them joints in the smoothie as well, man. So you'll be good to roll. Like one of my go-tos, bananas, hemp seeds, and it's this PB powder that I get. You can order that joint off of like Amazon. It's a PB powder. And the reason why I would get the PB powder instead of the actual peanut butter is because it's less fattening. So you can get this PB powder, man. So I take some bananas, I take some hemp seeds, I take the PB powder, create me a nice protein-rich smoothie for after my workouts. So that mug be loaded. So something simple like that, man. Not many ingredients. It's just 3 things I named. Bananas, take you about 2 or 3 bananas. Hemp seeds. The good thing about hemp seeds, man, they small. And what is it? 10 grams of protein per serving. Now, of course, we know we don't need to OD on the protein, but everybody be worried about where do vegans get their protein from? Well, you got hemp seeds, very small. 10 grams of protein per serving, and a serving size of the hemp seeds is typically 3 tablespoons. So 3 tablespoons of those little old hemp seeds is giving me 10 grams of protein. So if I double it up, 6, boom, I got 20. It's some protein in the bananas. Then when I use the PB powder, I forget out the gate. How many grams of protein are in the serving size of the PB powder, but I think it's like 10. So let's just say it's 10. So if I got 6 tablespoons of the hemp seeds, which is light to do, if I 1 serving size of the PB powder, which may be 10 grams, I'm already at 30, and the bananas account for some protein, man. So that's easy. Whole while you may be drinking some muscle milk that got about 35 grams of protein. Man, I just made me a vegan smoothie that got the same amount of protein. And you worried about where I get my protein from. And if I wanted to hit 40, because there's some protein shakes out here, they got 40 grams, then I could just add me some more scoops of the PB powder. And I done got all my protein without having to consume any dairy product or any meat. And y'all worried about protein. Man, it is so easy for me to get my protein. It's ridiculous. But hemp seeds are a jewel filled with protein. Real easy to get protein if you consume the hemp seeds, along with other things. Yeah, Darren, man, we gotta make sure, like when we on the go, we gotta make sure what we eat counts. So we really can't be playing around with the meals when you on the go. So you gotta make sure when you eat something, it counts, it matters. So, you know what I'm saying? You gotta make sure them meals are packed with what you need. Like them beans, like you say, them lentils and spinach. Like you gotta make sure we consuming that, man. Some broccoli, hemp seeds, all of that, man. We gotta make sure it counts. Gotta make sure it counts when we eat. Kurt, listen, the best body weight exercise, my favorite, which my clients hate, but burpees. All different forms of burpees. So you want to do burpees. You want to do push-ups. I would say stay away from the sit-ups because that can impact your back. So if you're worried about back problems, then stay away from the sit-ups. But I say push-ups. I say burpees. I would say inchworms. I would say mountain climbers. Man, I would say jumping jacks. Do you some crunches, do you some planks, all variations of the planks, do you some V-ups, jump squats, jumping lunges. Man, I can go on and on. It's so many different things you can do with your body. Close grip push-ups, do all variations of a push-up. So it's just so many different things you can do with your own body weight. And I tell people all the time, you got to master your body weight first before you start trying to master all these other weights, man. So it's people that can't even do a whole pull-up, but they out here bench pressing 300 pounds, man. You got to master your body weight first. Oh, Chanel, yeah, buddy. Yeah, getting protein. And then this is another thing too, which I've talked about in previous videos. A lot of times the amount of protein that we think we need, incorrect. The information out here is letting you know that we only need about 5 to 10%. In regard, like when we take the carbs, when we take the fats, when we take the protein, we only need about 5%, 5 to 10% of our daily caloric intake to come from protein sources. So when you really start breaking that down, which if I was at home and actually had my laptop, I can actually go through the breakdown. But since I'm on this phone, I really can't go through the breakdown and show y'all how little that actually is. So we really don't be needing as much protein as we think that we need. So essentially, it's hard to be deficient in protein. You would literally actually have to be starving yourself, literally. And then your body also recycles certain amino acids as well, which again produces protein. So it's real hard to be light on the protein unless you literally out here starving yourself. So as long as you consuming the lentils, like split peas, your hemp seeds, man, you even throw in like the spinach, bananas, and things of that nature. Literally every food that you gonna consume gonna have some element of protein in it. So if you eating lentils on a daily basis, you finna have your protein. If you eating split peas, you eating beans, you eating all these other foods, you gonna have protein. You gonna have the right amount of protein. You ain't gotta worry about it. But hemp seeds are golden. Hemp seeds are golden though. Yeah, hemp seeds are golden. Hemp seeds are golden when it comes to protein, man. A lot of those seeds are golden when it comes to protein. But like I said, we don't need as much protein as we think. So it's a lot of myths out here surrounding protein. Definitely don't need as much as we think. They say once you get above 10%, then you start opening yourself up to like kidney issues, liver issues, diabetes, like I said, kidney stones, man, gallbladder issues, heart disease. Like that's what happens when the daily caloric intake of protein increases beyond 10%. So you want to watch the protein intake and make sure it's not as high, because too much protein becomes a problem for the body. Hey Thunder, if you don't like running, I like running in short distances. I like sprinting, but distance running, no sir, not doing that. But if you don't like running, like I said, get that jump rope, get you some boxing in, whatever the case may be. It's a lot of different ways, and they say do what's fun to you, man. If you don't like something, don't do it. When it comes to just exercising, man, and moving and motion and things of that nature, man. If you don't like something, don't do it. If basketball is your thing, man, play some basketball. Like whatever you like to do. You like to swim, go swim. Whatever you like to do, find something that you like to do and incorporate that element in it as a form of like cardio. So yeah, find something that you enjoy and incorporate that into what you're doing, into your regimen. Not yet. Hey, you say handstands or handstand push-ups? Because the way I taught myself to do handstands, man, y'all people don't understand. Man, I was good at like tumbling and all that type of stuff, man. I taught myself a lot of this. I was the king of handstands for a moment. I was able to hold handstands for a very long period of time. And now they do in CrossFit, they do the little handstand push-ups. But I say the best way to work your way to handstands is like get up on a wall first and just position yourself on the wall. So do the handstand on the wall, let the wall hold you up. Then once you start getting comfortable on that wall, in that handstand position, then try to walk out from that wall, then just hold yourself up that way. So start off, or if you got somebody that can just hold your feet up, man, start like that, and then after X amount of seconds, say you work your way up to 30 seconds, just holding yourself up, then tell them to remove their hand, and then just see how long you can hold yourself up that way. So it's all about progression, man. Get up on that wall, do the handstand on the wall, allow the wall to hold you up so you can just get comfortable in a position. And then when you're able to do that for about good 35, 40 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever the case may be, then all right, we're going to try to walk away from that wall and we're going to try to hold ourselves up. That's kind of how I did it. Like I said, I literally taught myself how to do handstands and backflips and all that type of stuff. But now they out here doing handstand push-ups. That's a whole different ball game. Hey, wisdom, man. That's the regimen, man. There you go. Yeah, Brandon, that's what I'm saying, man. That cross country look ain't for your boy. I ain't really too fond of the look of a person that just runs all day, every day. Never been my look. I value muscle. I don't want to walk around here looking frail and fragile. I value muscle. So I'm going to do things that build muscle for me or maintain the muscle that I already have. But I will never do anything that compromises my muscle because I don't like that look. And that's just me. Like, I do not like the look of lacking muscle. No, I'm not a fan of it. Chanel, when it comes, hey, protein powders, I'm gonna give y'all a jewel on that. Recommend staying away from protein. Matter of fact, I recommend staying away from protein powders. I recommend staying away from a lot of these vitamins and a lot of these vitamins out here. When they isolate vitamins in supplement form, I recommend staying away from a lot of those. Because again, you gotta ask yourself certain questions. You may see something that is a vitamin E supplement, and it may be guaranteeing you, as far as like the RDA, it may be guaranteeing you a lot of vitamin E in this one supplement, in this one capsule. You got to ask yourself, there is nothing in nature that contains some of these vitamins and minerals that they are guaranteeing you, like the amount of the vitamin and mineral that they are guaranteeing you in these capsules. That don't exist out there in nature, man. So the best thing you can do, or the best thing you should do when it comes to most of these vitamins and minerals, is get them from what you eat. Because you got something that's guaranteeing you 20,000 IUs of vitamin D. It's like, man, that ain't even natural or normal. Ain't even natural or normal, man. So you got to watch those things, man. Because again, you may be overloading on a certain vitamin, on a certain mineral, and you got to watch that. So you got to watch a lot of these supplements, man, because they might be guaranteeing you way more of that particular vitamin and mineral that you even need. So you got to watch that. You got to watch that, man. They guaranteeing you a lot of that vitamin, and it don't even exist like that in nature when it comes to certain foods, man, because nature deals in inequality and deals with balance. So in order for you to get everything that you need, you got to eat a diverse variety of foods. So they not finna tell you, this strawberry got 1 million IUs of vitamin D, so consume strawberries. No, you got to consume strawberries, you got to consume the blueberries, you got to consume the bananas, you got to consume the kiwis, you got to consume the spinach to get everything that you need. So when something is guaranteeing you a vitamin in isolation, a lot of it, be wary of that, because that's not natural. It's not natural. So it may do more harm than good. And the same with the protein powders. The protein powders, because again, when we consume the protein powders and protein shakes, we tend to OD it, meaning we tend to consume too much protein. Because again, everything that you're gonna consume got some form of protein in it. So when you add these protein shakes to it, that's promising you 40 grams, and you drink 2 of them, that's 80 grams. That's already probably exceeding the amount that you need per day. And that ain't including the food that you consume that has protein in it. So we gotta watch, like them protein powders, man, end up doing damage to the kidneys. So I got off of protein powders maybe like 5 years ago. And I was living witness of it, man. My kidneys, it was affecting my kidneys, man. I used to drink protein shakes and I used to do protein powders all the time. Got off of that game, man, and I noticed the difference. Noticed the difference. So I am not a fan of protein powders, protein shakes, unless you make it in your own. Not a fan of like the store joints. Not a fan of them at all, man. Them things don't tend to be that good for the body. Long term. Even a lot of these meal replacement shakes and things of that nature, man, they be lacing that type of stuff up with stuff that ain't really good for the body. So I don't even recommend a lot of that type of stuff. Just like the the store-bought smoothies be laced with a lot of added sugar. Like, you gotta watch these protein shakes and all that type of stuff too, man. They be lacing that type of stuff up with things that the body don't need and things that become destructive to the body. So you just gotta be mindful of all of that. But I don't recommend protein shakes, and I don't recommend a lot of these supplements out here. It's only a few supplements that I recommend. And like I said, I have experimented with a lot of these things, man. But the only supplement that I really recommend, depending on how you eat, if you're going vegan or plant-based, B12, and then possibly like vitamin D, vitamin D2, or vitamin D3, vegan version. Those are probably the only supplements that you would have to take religiously. Chanel, man. Woo, I'm glad you. I'm gonna have to do a part 2 because I'm gonna definitely break that down. Man, I ain't got time to break that down, but yeah, I'm gonna break that down. I'm gonna break that down for you. I'm gonna break protein down for you, and I'm gonna show you how easy it is to reach that target. I'm gonna just show you how easy it is. I'm gonna break that down though. When I got more time, man, I'm gonna break it down because it's a lot of myths surrounding protein that need to be debunked and broken down. But the last thing you probably got to worry about is being deficient in protein. We got to worry about other vitamins and minerals that we tend to not get. Protein, I'm telling you, it takes a lot to be deficient in protein. When I break down to you all the amount of protein in certain foods, you be like, that's crazy. The amount of grams of protein in certain foods and how easy it is to get the recommended amounts, you be like, wow. I get that before lunch, you know. A game never use creatine, never. I do not recommend creatine, not one bit. No, buddy, never used it, never will. I do not rock with creatine. I got the knowledge on creatine when I was in high school. Coach told me, man, don't do that. It messes you up. But with that being said, y'all, man, I'm pressed. Y'all know I be pressed for time, man. So I appreciate y'all taking the time out to tune in to your boy. I might have to come back, man, and just drop some more jewels in this regard because I still got a lot to say. But I appreciate y'all tapping into your boy today for this stream. Kind of spontaneous, but I gotta make a move, man. I gotta get this gym ready. I got a session, got a client about to walk in, so I'm about to drill him. Y'all know how that go, man. So I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Sunday. I may tap into y'all later on, so be on the lookout. If not, definitely tap in with y'all tomorrow, man. So y'all be easy. I appreciate y'all. I'm out though. Peace.